Alright, so my name remains Jimo. Alright, let's get right into this tutorial. I'll be showing you first how to launch and open Microsoft Excel. I'm using Microsoft Excel 2019, the latest version, although I have Microsoft Excel 2013 on my system. But I decided to use the latest version because I know that we should be going forward, not going backwards. So if you have the older versions on your PC or on your Mac, you can follow along, because almost all the features I'm going to be talking about in the tutorial series applies to the version that you have. Right. So if you do not have Microsoft Excel installed on your system, I've put in a link to where you can possibly download Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Office as a package, and then you can install it just the way you install other applications on your system. Then if you use a Mac or a PC, you know where you normally open and launch apps. I'm using a Windows 8.1, and I'll move it to my start bar, and this is my interface. I can come in here, just go down here and type Microsoft Excel, or I can just come in here. Mine is here. Alright, so you may need to scroll or look for where you installed yours on your system. So I'll just click here and wait for it to open. Alright, Microsoft Excel is opening up. So alright, this is the start screen of my Microsoft Excel 2019, and you can see that it looks quite different from the one that you are very used to. Okay, if you have the older versions, yours will look something like this. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. These are the start screen. This is the start screen of 2013, and this is the start screen of 2019. So here you can go to new, where you create a new document, a new spreadsheet. You can click open here, where you can access all the Excel spreadsheet you've built, and you can open the one you want to open there. And here we have a shortcut as well to this, where you can click and create a blank workbook or select from a template. So these are templates that have been pre-built by Excel, so you can search for more templates here. Imagine you want to design a blood pressure tracker spreadsheet. You can just click here and it gives you a template to start off. For expense report, you can click here and it gives you a template to start up. You have your recent files you can access from here. Then what we're interested in is to build and learn Excel afresh. So we're going to click on the blank workbook. So if you have the older versions, you click on the blank workbook as well. Alright, I believe you are also at this same stage with me. My Microsoft Excel window is now fully open, and this is 2019, and this is how older versions look like. There is almost no major noticeable difference if you look very carefully. I'm gonna be teaching with 2019. Alright, so this window is what we'll call the workbook, the Excel workbook. Alright, so if you look up here, you notice that it's called book 1. Alright, yours might be called book anything. Alright, it depends on how many times you've used it. Okay, but this is the default naming convention for each of the workbook that you open. The workbook is this. Okay, so whenever you launch Microsoft Excel, the first thing you see on a blank screen like this is a new workbook. All right, so a workbook is made up of worksheets. All right, so this is sheet 1 in this workbook. So we can click on this plus to create another sheet. So you can see we have sheet 2. We can make another sheet. We have sheet 3. So you can use each of these sheets to group similar data. All right, and it's so flexible that you can rename a sheet. So I can just right click on this and then rename, and let's say I want to call this income, for example. I can press on my enter button or click outside. It becomes income. I can give this another name, call this let's say expenses or expenses, then click outside. You can color sheets. You can right click on this and click on tab color, and then select a color. Click here, tab color, select the color. This will help you differentiate your sheets so you know what each sheet is doing from a first look. All right, so these are what we are going to look into in details in other videos. I just wanted to show you that these are different worksheets which are contained in this workbook, so I'll just rename them back to how they were before, sheet 2, because we don't intend to build any income and expense sheets right now, so I'll take them back here. All right, let me talk about each of these sections that you can see here. If you look up here, the topmost part of the workbook is what we call the title bar. Okay, and on the title bar you have the title of the workbook you are currently working on, and you have other shortcuts like save, undo, redo, and some other quick access toolbar where you can quickly access some other stuff like spelling, email, and other shortcuts. Then on the far right of the title bar you have your close, restore, maximize, minimize, and some other buttons here. All right, so the next layer here is what we'll call the menu bar. It might be a little bit different from your own. Yours may not have the help if you're using an older version, but each of these menu have its own sub menu, which is what I call sub menu. So you click on insert, you're going to see all the sub menus and all the icons related to insert. You click on page layout, you see everything related to page layout. You click on formulas, you can see everything related to formulas. You click on data and so on, you can see everything related to data. All right, so let's go back to the home, and next is this layer here. This layer here is called the name box. All right, it is where the name of each of these places here appear. All right, this is called the formula bar. Whatever you type into any of these places here appears here. All right, so this next layer is the work area. It's called the work area of the worksheets of this workbook. All right, remember that this is a worksheet in this workbook, so this is the work area where you actually get to work. And the work area is like a table. It's divided into columns and rows. So the vertical ones like this are known as columns, while the horizontal ones are known as rows. All right, so if you ever forget the difference, remember that columns come top to bottom. A column is the name given to, it's another name for a pillar. So you know that pillars are usually vertical, right? So you hear pillars, columns, beams, and all those things. So whenever you think of column and you're thinking, is it horizontal or vertical, just remember that a column is like a pillar, so it's top down. All right, this is a column A to wherever it ends, row 1 to wherever it ends. All right, so the meeting point between a column and a row is known as a cell. So this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell, and a cell has an address which is indicated in the name box here. You can see this is D5. That's why D5. So what is this? Yes, you got it right, F12. All right, so you may be wondering where the columns got to, like A to where. All right, so if you scroll, you might take your scroll bar and start scrolling, you will discover that you keep going down, so you may never even get to the end of it. So I have a very shortcut. I have a short way of getting to know where the end of the column is. What you simply need to do is just to click on any cell, then on your keyboard you can do Control and the right arrow, or your command button on the Mac and the right arrow. So I'll just do Control right, and then it takes me to the last column, which is XFD. So even if I scroll here, I don't get beyond here. All right, so if you want to return back, you do Control left, it takes you back. Similarly for the rows, row 1, if you scroll down like this, you may not get down to, you may not see the end of the row. So the fastest way to get to the end of the row is to click anywhere, not necessarily the top here. You can just click anywhere, then do Control down, or command down on your Mac, on your PC, you do control down, and you get to 1,048,576. That's the highest row. All right, so control up will take you back to where you started from. All right, so the rows and the columns have been made so large and so wide so that whatever data you want to enter, it is wide and high enough for you to contain your data, and it will really be impossible for you to have a data that doesn't fit into this column and these rows. And even if you do, which is almost impossible, you can spread your other data into other sheets, like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, keep creating sheets. All right, so Microsoft Excel is actually very robust and can handle whatever data you are bringing to it. All right, the last line here is called the status bar. You can get information about how the condition of your worksheet. You can see it is ready here. If it's not ready for use, you will see the busy here, or whatever other mode it is in. So ready means that you can use it. On the far right, you can see the different layouts where you can view your spreadsheet in. You can zoom in your spreadsheet and you can zoom them out. So I'll set it at 100. You can play with these things around and see what it does for you. Alright, let's talk about cells. Okay, I already established that each of these are called cells. Alright, this is cell D5, this is cell B4, this is cell B8. Alright, you can enter data into any cell. Alright, any kind of data. You can enter in a number, you can enter in a text, you can enter in a date, you can enter in a formula, you can enter in currency. It can handle any kind of data. Alright, so you can decide to start from here to enter in data, start from anywhere. Depends on how you want to organize your data in your work area. Alright, so I usually do it random way. I can start anywhere, but for orderly purpose, I will just go to A1 and let's enter in a number. Let's say 15. Alright, I'll press my enter on my keyboard and then you see it here. Alright, I can actually click out without pressing my enter. It's the same thing. I'll come here and I'll enter a short word and I'll say boy, B-O-Y, boy, and I'll press enter. Okay, then I'll come here and I'll do something like 5/5 or 5/8/2019 and I'll press enter. Alright, I'll come here and I'll do 2,000.00 and I'll press enter. Alright, now I'm going to show you something very interesting. Now if I click on this, you notice that this is aligned to the right, this is aligned to the left, this is to the right, okay, this is to the right. Alright, so normally by default tests are aligned to the left, numbers are aligned to the right. Alright, but if you click here, notice you get general here in this number. This is actually the number format of the home menu, the number format section of this home menu. So when you click on the home menu, you can look around, you see a number here. It's called, this area is called the number format. All right, so there are a lot of number formats. You have general number, you have currency, you have accounting, you have short date, and so on. You can even get to more number formats where you can select custom number types or combine different formats to get the kind of format you are looking for. So by default, the number format is general. If you click here, if you write 15, just 15 or any number here, I can change here to 23 and I click out, come back there again, I get general. If I click on the next one, which is a test, it gives me general, right? I click on this, it gives me a date. So Excel is so smart, it knows when you are entering in a date. But you're wondering why didn't it give us a number here, right? Because this could actually be a test. So for Excel to recognize it as a number, it needs to have maybe some number features, maybe like a dot 00 or something, or a comma when it's 1,000. So I entered in this and noticed that this gave us a number. It identified this as a number and didn't identify this as a number. All right, so these are some of the things you need to be careful of. You can actually change them from one format to another. I can click on this now, come back here and change it to a number. So it has the .00 by default to it to tell itself that this is a number. All right, so I can change a date to a number, or I can change it to a number if I want. I can change this to currency. I can come here, select currency, it adds a $sign to it, and so on. So you can click on any cell and change the number format so that cell behaves according to that number format. So if I come in here now, I delete what is here and I click out and I come back here and I enter 78. Remember that this is a currency cell now. I click enter, it's going to pick currency. All right, so you can change individual cells and change their number format, or you can select an entire column and change the number format to a date. So whatever you enter here becomes a date. Whatever you enter in the column C becomes a date. Or you can select a particular row and change the number format to percentage. So if I come in here, anywhere here, and I enter 89 and I press enter, it becomes a percentage. You notice the percentage sign. All right, so that's how you can change the number format of each of these cells or columns or rows. So another interesting thing is that if you want to select all in Excel, there's a shortcut to do that. Take your cursor or take your mouse to this place here in between the number 1 and the row 1 and the column A here. You select everything, and I can press the delete on my keyboard to wipe away all the data I've entered. All right, let's go ahead now and enter in some real data and try some more operations on this worksheet. All right, so let's say I want here to be name, okay, and I want here to be gender, and I want here to be scores. All right, scores. So let's say the first name here is Jim. He's a male. All right, then he's called 90, and it's picking the, you see, we already set here to a date, that's why it's picking it. So what I can do, I can just select all here and just change everything to general format so it doesn't pick any format, so it picks 90. I come here and I enter in Jerry, then enter in male here, then I should be higher than Jerry in scores, just kidding. So I'll just give Jerry 89. Okay, now let me quickly show you how to perform a quick summation. All right, so I want to add up these two scores, maybe the two scores, and take an average, maybe in another video or something, but I just want to show you how to do quick summation here. So I want the result to be here, right? Or I can display the result here, I can display the result here, it doesn't matter. Wherever you put your whichever cell that you click on to show your result in, as long as you perform the calculation correctly on that cell, the result will appear there. But for orderly sake, okay, we are going to make our result appear here. That's on the cell below these two cells. So we are going to compute cell C2 and cell C3 to give us our result in C4. So there's a quick way to do that. If you look in your home menu area here and you go to the far right, you're going to see auto sum. When you click auto sum, Excel is intelligent enough to find the values to compute on that column. All right, so if I do that, it picks both of them and I can press enter and it gives me the right result. So even if I go ahead and change this now to 92, automatically here, you don't need to touch here again, here automatically updates the correct result. All right, so let me quickly show you how to use some of these other tools here before we go to the next subtopic in this video. All right, I want to make this particular row bolder than this, I can select each of these cells and apply the bold to them, or I can just select the entire row and apply B, that's bold. I can make italic, I can underline them, I can change the font type to maybe Arial Black. Notice that it's beginning to hide. This will now take us to another different topic. I'll show you what causes this right now. Alright, so I'll leave it this way. I can apply color to them, and I can apply font changes to them. Now notice that these empty spaces have the same color. That's because I selected the row. If I've selected individual cells to do it, here wouldn't take the color. Alright, so it's a trade-off between what you want. Do you want to have some, will you be having some other column values here? So this might just be what you want, or you may just select a particular cell and apply the formatting to it. This is called formatting. So you can increase or reduce your font here. You can reduce your font here. I can come in here and reduce this. I can come in here and reduce this. All right. And let me quickly show you what happens here. Here is the border. Here gives you the border for each of these cells. So let's assume I want to put this into a border. I want to make the borders appear. I can just select select this entire cells and apply this border. How do you select cells? Okay, you can click on the cell and drag. Okay, let's do that again. Just click, don't release your mouse. While clicking, don't release your mouse. That's left click. When I mean click, I mean left click. Left click and drag to where you want to stop and release. All right, let's do that again. Left click and drag. Then you can come here and select the border type. So I'll just choose all borders. So you notice that there is now a visible border here. All right, so summation values always have thicker borders. So I'll just click on this cell here, come here and select a very thick value here. I think that will do. Okay, doesn't appear properly. Can just do something like this. All right, you notice that there's a thicker border here under the total value here. All right, so I want to show you these other buttons here, what they do. All right, so let's say this is for top align. Let's say this is gym. I'll reduce the font a little so you see what's actually happening here. I can click this to take it up, align it in the middle, align it to the bottom. I can align it to the left, which is by default. That's the default alignment to the left. I can align to the middle, I can align to the ending, or I can decrease the indentation. It doesn't align it straight to the extreme, it just reduces the indentation a bit. So I can begin to reduce this indentation. Let me take this back to the left. Then I can begin to increase the indentation or reduce the indentation depending on what I want. Okay, now I'll quickly show you what wrap test and merge and center does. All right, so let's type something here. Let's say I want to type a sentence in this cell D6. My name is Jimo. Now notice that I typed in D6, but it's spilled into E6. But if I click on E6, I get nothing here. If I click on D6, I can see this value on the formula bar, but I can't see it here. So this is an unwanted situation, and you don't want something like this to happen in your cells because it can really mess up your cells. If I come under here now and do something like on this cell and do my name is Jimo and I am a boy, for example, see how long this one gets. This one spills into 3 or 4 more cells. Now if I now come to E and decide to write something like my gender is male. Now notice how messed up it is now. My name, my gender is male. All right, so you notice how messed up this thing it is right now. All right, this can be fixed with wrap test. So if you want this to be contained, you want whatever you are typing in a cell to be contained within its own cell, you wrap it in that cell. So you can click on the cell you want to wrap and click on wrap test. So you notice that it's no longer spilling. I click on this and I wrap the test, it's no longer spilling. I click on this and I wrap the test, it's no longer spilling, right? Now let's undo it. Let's do Ctrl Z and take it to how it was before. I want to show you another thing. Instead of doing it individually, what I usually do is to select all the cells and do wrap test, so that no matter what I do tomorrow and I type in something long, it's already wrapped. But depending on what you want to do, this might give you some undesired results, but I usually know how to arrange this manually. So you can start with identifying the cells you want, then clicking on wrap test. Okay, all right. So I'll show you something else. Merge and center. I will undo this. All right, I'll do Ctrl Z, take it back. All right. So let's say I want to name this. I want to write something very long, and I want it to be like the name of this. Let's say the name of this sheet or something, and I want to put it here. Okay, I want to put it here. And this sheet can be something like bio data sheet for students. Right, see how long it is, and it's spilling into the next cell. If I wrap this, it works, but this is not what I want to do. Okay, I'll undo it. I want this cell where I enter this biodata for student to span across here so that it can be positioned nicely. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge this particular cell with other cells so that this data I've entered will span across nicely. All right, so I'll select and drag to the cells I want to merge. I started from selecting from the cell where the data is contained also, and drag to the cell I want to merge it to N. So I'll just go and hit up merge and center. You notice that it is now nicely aligned in the middle, and it's taking up all the grid you see here is no longer here. So what happens here is that this cell F2 has now swallowed up GHIJKLMN2. all right, so if you click here, you notice E2, this is F2, the next one is O2. Okay, this can be used to show forth a nice heading or to combine two cells in a situation where one cell is not enough to show the data and you don't want to, and what you intend to do is not to wrap. All right, so something like this, I can apply a different color to this. Let's say I give it a dark color, then give here a white color. All right, so this can be like a heading here, this can now be something like name comes here, maybe name comes here, comes takes gender. You get the idea of what I'm trying to do. Here is scores, and other column heads fill up under here. So I use this a lot when I want to really have a nice header inside the work area. All right, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to save what you've just done. Okay, there are a lot of ways to save. You can come to file, click on save, or you can just simply hit the save button here. So whichever will, if you're saving for the first time, it will bring up this page where you can choose a location to save. So you can browse to the location on your computer and save. I already have some locations here, so I'll want to save to here. All right, I want to save my data to this place. All right, so okay, so let's save it here. All right, so I'm going to call it class 1 because okay, I think I already have class 1 there, so maybe I'm going to call this class 01. Okay, I'll call this class 01. You can give it any name you want to give yours. It's not compulsory that it must have a 1 in it. All right, so you can give it a name. If you are building for your office, you can call it your office name, or if it's a budgeting spreadsheet, you can call it budget. You can just call it budget. You can just call it budget. All right, you can give it any name you want, but give it a name you're going to remember. Then I'm going to hit save here, and remember the location I saved to. I hit save. And then notice that it is no longer book 1 here, it is now class 01. That's the new name I just gave it. Okay, so if I decide to alter any content here, let's say I decide to alter this content to 95, and notice that information has changed in this spreadsheet, so I need to save again. So this time I'll just click save, or just click save here, and because I've saved before, it doesn't give me that page where I need to enter in the name again. I just click save and it saves to that particular file that's already class 01. But in a situation where let's say you want to save this document not as class 01 again, but as another different document, you can come here. Now you don't use this again, this will save it to this name. You want to save to another name, now you come here and do save as here. So when you click on save as, you can enter in a new name. Let's do that now. I'll just show you how it works. You can enter in a new name, and let's call it class 01 edited. Okay, let's just call it edited and click on save here. Notice that you have now saved it as. It doesn't overwrite the one we saved before. That one is secured in your folder, but this is a new document. Any other change you make in this document will be saved into this class 01 edited, not into that very first one that we saved before. Okay, so let me quickly show you how to open Excel files that you already done. Let's say you've done some and it's on your system, like the class 01 that we did before we saved it to edited. You can just come to file here, go to open. All right, and if it's not among the list here, you can just click on browse, or whatever option that you have there, open, browse, look for the location in your system where it is saved, then you just open it. Okay, this is it. This will take us back to the one we've done before. But I want to open something else I've done, maybe this. All right, so this will open up this application. This is an app I built many years back. It's quite interesting how it works. It's almost like a wish list. If the money you are looking for is available, you can just select yes. Maybe this all information here, they are all demo information. Okay, let's say this amount is supposed to, you're expecting this money, you can select yes, it's available. Notice that this one was not activated before, means that you can now buy this. Now if you selected that you've bought it, if you select that you've purchased it, it becomes completed, and then you can now go ahead and see if when this other money comes, it can activate this for you to buy it. So I'm going to talk about this in a separate tutorial, but for now I just wanted to show you how to open another spreadsheet inside Excel. When you have another spreadsheet open, okay, you have another Excel file open, you can open another Excel file to work on something, to pick information, or to do whatever you want to do. All right, so I'm not going to save these changes. I just wanted to show you that. So we are back to where we were before. All right, let me show you how to work with templates. You go to file, right, new, okay, then you have what we did initially was to go to blank. Now these are templates. Let's say I want to work with a personal monthly budget. I can just click on this and it will download from the Microsoft servers or wherever it's downloading from. Then you can have it here, so you can begin to play and manipulate this to actually get what you're looking for. So if this is similar to what you want to work on, this can be a starting point for you. Okay, this is how to work with template. You can go back there and go to new. Let's take a look at this blood pressure tracker and see what this is about. All right, so you can change. All right, so you can just take a look at all the templates and see which one fits what you want to do. Okay, finally I want us to go back to our class 01 edited. I want to show you how to get additional information. Let's assume you are working on your spreadsheet and you run into problems. You can always go to Google and search for solutions, or you can ask me in the comments below, or there's an inbuilt tab in 2019 for getting help. So you can come here and just get help. get help any way you want to get help. All right, or on your keyboard, if your version doesn't have this help menu, you can get it. I think it is around here. I'll just check my turn 13. Look at it here. This is help. So this is help. This right here is help as well. All right, or you can use the F1 on your keyboard to get to help. Okay, all right, so enough information for this video, and I want to always try as much as possible to keep it short so it doesn't get too long. In the next video, we'll be talking about how to manipulate cells, how to manipulate columns and rows, and look at some other features in this other menu and these other menus, and we'll begin to get into some more exciting stuff. All right, so don't forget to share, like, and comment, and subscribe most importantly. See you in the next video.